everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going fantastic. I'm so glad you're joining me. Today we're going to make 2 cards, a bonus card at the end. We're using some Spellbinders Club Kits. We have the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit, and then we also have the Embossing folder of the Month Club Kit. The stamp set's called Go To Girl. It's adorable. Oh my goodness. And then the embossing folder is the Luxe Lattice. Spellbinders has 2 embossing folder clubs. One's a 3D and one's regular. This is just the regular one. It's pretty lovely too this month. It's called Luxe Lattice. These are all like little chains. Goes with the kind of theme for all the clubs this month. I'm super excited about them. So we are going to do some Copic coloring, and we're going to get started with step number 1 and do some Copic coloring. We're going to stamp the little girl that has the bow in the hair, and then the little girl that has her hair in a messy bun. Although this little girl with the... Let's stamp them all, because I can't decide. And I think they're going to be real easy to color in. Let's go ahead and pick these up. I'm going to use my Memento ink. I always use this ink for my alcohol coloring. I've always had great luck with it. Let's go ahead and stamp this. I mean, it just stamps beautifully the first time. Look how cute these are. Okay, I'm going to wipe off my stamps, and then we're also going to stamp our greetings too. For my greetings, we're going to stamp Thanks for Being My Go-To Girl, and we're also going to stamp Sending Smiles with Every Step. And I'm not going to use my Memento ink for my greetings. I'm going to switch out my ink for my VersaFine Clair. We will stamp this. Lovely. And our greetings are all good. These are the colors of markers that I'm going to be using today. Now I'm going to zoom in. I'll play a little bit of music while I color, and then when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Coloring is all done. I want to zoom back out. I have my images all cut out. Now I did put Spellbinders pop-up foam behind them, so we have a little bit of dimension. We're going to make 2 cards today, and I think we're going to be using these 2 images here. I brought in a paper mat. This is from Spellbinders. It's actually a really nice mat. I've had it for a while, and I don't use it very often, but today I'm using it because when I got done coloring, I had needed to turn my lights on, and I have my glare, and I didn't want that to be a distraction, so that's why I changed out my mats. Okay, we'll put these to the side, and we're going to move along to step number 2, and we're going to create our home panel. For my home panel, we're bringing in 2 die sets. We have the Spellbinders Mirrored Arch Labels die set, and we also have the Essential Stars cutting die set. I thought for my background today we would add some stars. Sometimes it's nice just to add something a little bit different, so we're going to be using these 2 die sets. I'm going to be using some Spellbinders cardstock. Let me show you. The green is Peridot. The light teal is Seaside. We have Waterfall. We have our chiffon, and then we also have Spellbinders Coral cardstock. And then I die cut out some white stars. 3 little white stars here. What we're going to do is just do a little bit of layering. First with these 2. I'm going to layer both of my teal colors together, just using my tape runner. And then these 2 strips. This is a 3/4 inch strip. This is a 1 1/4 inch strip. We're going to layer both of these together. We're just going to create a little banner here. Next, I'm going to bring in some of my black and white baker's twine. I'm going to wrap it around this piece. I'm going to tie a bow with it off to the left. After our bow's adhered, what we're going to do is take our adhesive. I'm going to go down the middle, right over that twine, and then let me just move these out of the way here. I'm going to take this piece and we are going to add this. I can actually use the grids on here. This is actually really nice. I'm going to center this right over this archway here. So that's right down the middle. Then I did pop this up with some of my pop-up foam, and I'm going to add some behind here. And then we're going to layer this right over the center of that banner we created. We'll just tack this down. If you wanted to create a gap between the foam so the twine lays a little bit flatter, you could do that. But this twine's pretty thin. Okay, this will be my home panel. For my first card, we're going to use this cute little girl. But I am going to add the stars behind here. So I'm going to add some adhesive behind my stars. That's our home panel with our focal image. Now I'm going to move along to step number 3, and we're going to create our sentiment. For this card, I think we're going to use, let's see, I think we're going to use sending smiles with every step. I think that would go cute on the card. I'm going to use my black ink here. Lovely. I'm going to use the coordinating die and we will cut this out. We're going to add some glue. I did pop this up with some of my pop-up foam, so we have a little dimension. And we're going to layer this. We will just tack that down. And that will be our greeting. Now we're going to move along to step number 4 and create our background. For my background, we're going to bring in our embossing folder. This is the Luxe Lattice, and I have my card base here. What I'm going to do is emboss directly on the front of my card base. So I'm going to layer this in here. I'm going to make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine and we will emboss our card base. And there we have a beautiful pattern on the front of our card base. So nice. Let's go ahead and take our home panel and we're going to load this up with some adhesive. And we're going to tack this down right in the middle. I'm actually going to trim this a little bit more. There we go. So cute. Now for step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. Since we have some stars going on in the background, I'm bringing in some star embellishments. These are from Buttons Galore. And we're going to add some stars to our background. I just put 5. And then I'm also going to bring in my Diamond Stickles. Diamond Stickles is my favorite glitter glue, and we're going to add a little bit of glitter, maybe to her beret here. We'll just add a little sparkle to the base of her beret and maybe to her belt and maybe to her little pooch's bow. Okay, I do want to mention that on the little dog, I colored in the bow blue, or I'm calling it a bow, but the bow on the dog could actually be the dog's ears. So I made it into a cute little posh dog with a bow, but I think it could be ears for the dog, or like a Chihuahua has really pointy ears, or it could be a bow, and I chose a bow. And that finishes off that card. That's a fun, super fun card. I mean, just sending smiles. Now we're going to move along to our next card. Next card we're going to make in 5 easy steps too, but we're going to speed up the process. For my my focal image, we're going to be using this little girl. For my home panel, I die cut out some more stars, and what we're going to do is just layer them together to create a home panel. We're just going to overlap them. I think that would be a great home panel. Let's go ahead and take our little girl here, and we're going to add her to our home panel. That was step 2. Step 3 is our greeting. I went ahead and stamped and die cut out and put foam behind "Thanks for being my go-to girl." We're going to go ahead and add glue behind here and layer it up here. For step number 4, I embossed a panel. This panel, let me tell you the measurements, is 3 1/4 inches wide by 4 1/2 inches tall. We're going to mat this on some of my peridot cardstock. Layer these together. And then this is going to go on the front of my card base, and this will be my background. I'm going to flip over my home panel, and we're going to put some foam tape behind here, and we're going to layer this right in the center here. Now for step 5, we're going to add a few more stars. And we're going to add a little bit of sparkle too. Let's add a little sparkle to her bow. And that finishes off the second card. So here's both cards that we made today using a couple of Spellbinders Club Kits. We have the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit and also the Embossing Folder of the Month Club Kit. Break out your star dies. We can use them for fabulous home panels and backgrounds. And I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.